Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hopefully, having a great day. Uh, we're in Super Bowl week. Yes, I'll do a video with my preview and everything on that later in the week. But we also have NBA All Star, the game itself coming up, as well as their Saturday night festivities and what do they do on Friday, like the celebrity game and all that. So I wanted to give, I guess, some love to the All Star game where they released their rosters for the East and the West. If you remember, or if you forgot, they went back to that format for this season. They did the Sandlot draft, fantasy draft, All Star thing for a couple of years, and I think fans were kind of over it. So Adam Silver decided to go back to East versus West, which I'm completely happy for. So I'm gonna go ahead, look at the rosters, break it down, and give you my honest opinion on the East and the West. Obviously, I got to give you who my snub is and everything like that. But let's go ahead and take a look at these rosters really quickly. So we'll start with the West. You already knew the starters: Luca, KD, Shea, SGA, LeBron, Jokic. Okay, no surprises there because that's from the fans. We already know what that's all about. The reserves were Booker, Curry, AD, Anthony Edwards, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Karl-Anthony Towns. Initial thoughts on the West. Somebody's got to explain to me how the Kings don't get either Sabonis or De'Aaron Fox in. They're a top 4 team in the West. How do they not get represented in the All-Star game? So the obvious question would be, who do you take off? You'd probably have to look at it and say, based on where the Lakers are, do the Lakers deserve 2 guys in the All-Star game? I think it's debatable. Let's say LeBron didn't get the starting nod from the fans. Would the coaches have put LeBron and AD on? I don't know. Maybe they would have only put one. But I think since LeBron made it as a starter, the coaches had to give love to AD for the season that he's having, despite a lot of the criticism and all that he gets when it's not going well in LA. He has performed well. So then if you're looking outside of that, you'd probably say, could you have done without Paul George and Kawhi from the Clippers? Considering how now they're number 1 in the West, it makes sense for them to get 2. The one I would probably say, if you wanted to substitute Sabonis for Karl-Anthony Towns, I would be all for it. Because I get that Minnesota is also a top 4 team. But Karl-Anthony Towns, yes, he had the 62-point performance, but if you watch Minnesota, Karl-Anthony Towns doesn't even really fit on that roster as a guy who they probably need to move in order for them to actually take that next step. So I don't know if I would necessarily make him an all-star. So I guess I would say, yeah, take Karl-Anthony Towns out, put Sabonis in. I would be happier with the West. The Kings need somebody. I think it's easier to put Sabonis in than Fox, because Fox you'd have to get rid of. I'm not getting rid of Anthony Edwards. I mean, you could ask the question in terms of the Lakers getting 2, does Golden State deserve one? But Steph Curry is having a great season, so you feel like he should be there. So yeah, Karl-Anthony Towns would be the easy one for me. Now in the East, I want to say Joel Embiid won't be there. Julius Randle won't be there for injury reasons. Embiid with the knee operations out 4 to 6 weeks apparently. Julius Randle has the shoulder injury, so they're not going to be there. They've been replaced by Trae Young and Scotty Barnes. Now, being in Atlanta, I know a lot of Hawks fans were upset that Trae Young wasn't on the All-Star team to begin with. Okay, sure. Once again, I would ask the same question. Does record matter to you? Because the Hawks aren't doing that well, but it is what it is. I would say maybe. Well, the first one I had was Lillard should not be a starter. That's number 1. The starters should be Halliburton and Brunson, to be honest with you. And if it's not Brunson, Maxey. Brunson and Maxey deserve a starting spot way before you get to Damian Lillard. So that's my biggest gripe with the East. Once again, that was the fan voting. Lillard is the bigger name, so obviously he got the nod. Looking at the reserves, I mean, I can't really say I have a big issue. Yeah, I don't really have one. You know, as a Celtics fan, I'd love to see Porzingis there, but I don't know who I would take off. I mean, would you take off Bam for Porzingis? I mean, I'd be okay with that. I mean, Scotty Barnes, I'm not a big Scotty Barnes guy, so maybe I might have picked Porzingis as an injury replacement for Embiid over Scotty Barnes, but I get it. You know, once again, with Toronto, you could ask, does the record matter? But Scotty Barnes is having a pretty good season, so I'm not gonna, I wouldn't lose sleep over that. But yeah. So, like I said, back to the East versus West. Your captains, Giannis and LeBron, because they're the highest vote getters. Once again, that's based off of the fans. If I was to really sit here and be like, who deserves to be captain? I mean, for the East, you would probably say Embiid would have been the captain. And then for the West, out of the starters, who's having the best year? I might say SGA. But we know as long as LeBron's in the league, he'll probably get voted in by fans. It is what it is. But yeah, so let me know, comment section, who do you agree with me with Sabonis? Well, actually the Kings being the biggest snub in the West, and then in the East, maybe Porzingis as the biggest snub. Let me know. And let me know, are you going to watch the All-Star game? As you see, it's Sunday, the 18th, so it's the following Sunday after Super Bowl. And do you like the festivities? I will say, the fact that the NBA, this is the last thing I want to add, they're using the LED court for Saturday night. I think that's a great idea. It's one of the reasons why I appreciate Adam Silver in the NBA. Like, they're willing to try different things, the in-season tournament, the play-in tournament, stuff like that. They like trying things to move the game forward, and they're also not afraid if it's not working. Look at the fantasy draft with the All-Star team to going back to East versus West. I can appreciate that. So I want to see how they use the LED courts. I think it could be a very cool idea. And if it works Saturday night, I could see them using it in the game Sunday, maybe next season. But yeah, let me know what your favorite event is of All-Star Weekend. For me, it's the 3-point contest, I got to say. But let me know what you think down in the comment section. But appreciate you clicking on the video. Really do. Hopefully you enjoy the rest of your day. Please like, subscribe, share, follow, all that good stuff. And yeah, so be safe. God bless. I'll see you in the next video. And yeah, enjoy the Super Bowl. Like I said, later in the week, I'll have my video for my preview and picks and everything like that.